See you around.
There is a missed call.
My phone. I'll check later.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will start the morning session in a short while from now. We are expecting our chief guest to be here with us in a short while. I request all our guests to kindly take their seat. We will begin the morning session, the first session of the day, in a short while from now. I request all our guests to kindly take their seat. We will begin the first session in a short while. I request everyone to kindly settle down. Namaskar, Swagatam, and a very good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Recording in progress.
I warmly and wholeheartedly welcome all our respected dignitaries, representatives from oil and gas PSU startup funds, VC firms, private investors, accelerators, incubators, government officials, and state startup missions of Northeast states to the historic Startup Investors Summit 2022-23. Well, ladies and gentlemen, this summit has been conceived to be a first of its kind confluence of startups coming up in the Northeast region, which will include startups promoted by OIL, NRL under their flagship startup programs, SNEH, Ideation, and other emerging ones of Northeast region. Well, the objective of this summit is to boost the startup ecosystem in the region and foster an entrepreneurial culture leveraging on innovation. So once again, I wholeheartedly welcome each and every one of you to this summit. Well, we begin the session by a felicitation of our dignitaries. We are extremely elated and honored to have amidst us for this summit the Joint Secretary, Refineries and Exploration, Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas, Government of India, Shri Sunil Kumarji. So may I now request Shri Bhaskar Judy Pukon, Managing Director NRL, to kindly welcome our guest. We welcome you, sir. It's an honor to have you amidst us. Thank you. I now request the Director of Operations OIL, Shri Pankaj Kumar Goswami, to welcome our guest, the Chief Managing Director NETFI, Shri PVSLN Murthy sir. We welcome you, sir. Thank you. May I now invite the Director of Finance, NRL, Shri Indranil Mitra, to kindly deliver the welcome address.
Good morning. Respected Chief Guest of today's event, Shri Sunil Kumar Ji, Joint Secretary Refineries, MOPNG, Respected CMD of NETFI, Sri Murthy, Secretary of Industries and Government of Assam, Dr. Lakshmanan, MD NRL, Mr. Fukan, Director Operations, Oil India Limited, Sri Pankaj Goswami, Senior Executives of Oil and Gas PSUs, investors from India and abroad participating in this summit, incubators and accelerators, startups, media, dignitaries, other guests, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning to you all once again. It is my privilege to welcome all of you over here in the Startup Investor Summit that is being jointly organized by OIL and NRL. It is the first time we are doing it. Thus, this Investor Summit has been conceived to be the first of its kind confluence of different stakeholders of the startup ecosystem in this part of the country. I am pleased to welcome you all, startups, oil and gas PSUs funds, private investors, VC firms, angel investors, mentors, accelerators and incubators. This summit intends to create a common platform which would mutually benefit all stakeholders of the startup ecosystem. India's startup scene is an exciting juncture. We already have 100 plus unicorns and numbers are only set to grow. The Northeast region is also catching up in the last 5 years because of the active initiative by Government of India, the state government of Northeast region, the PSU startup funds, financial institutions, academia, and most importantly, the growing community of entrepreneurs. To further the growth of the ecosystem and to take it to the next level, NRL is committed to support the maturing and deserving startups with infusion of capital through its flagship startup funding program, which is termed as NRL Ideation. Since launch of this NRL Ideation startup fund, which we started in 2017, 41 startups have been funded by NRL from a pool of 1,000 plus applications and with a total fund commitment of rupees 8.6 crore as of date. It gives me immense pleasure to inform you today that these 41 startups have a combined valuation of more than rupees 400 crores. We are really proud of it. Today it's a special day for us for our startup program as we are launching our angel fund for equity investment with a corpus of 35 crores to start with, in collaboration with Netflix. And thank you. I am sure all the participating stakeholders present today will get immensely benefited from today's proceedings. Also, investors and startups will get a networking opportunity throughout the day. I once again welcome you all, and I hope it will be a fulfilling day for everyone. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir, for setting the tone of this ceremony. May I now humbly invite the Director of Operations OIL, Shri Pankaj Kumar Goswami, to kindly deliver his speech. Kindly, sir.
Respected today's guest of honor, CS Refineries, Sunil Kumarji, CMD Netfi, Mr. Moti, MD NRL, Mr. Bhaskar Phukan, all the dignitaries present here, independent directors from NRL, I can see them, various startup groups, and funding groups. I do not come up with a very written type of topic to be discussed here. When I talk about this startup, and mostly when I talk about Northeast and very specifically Assam, we generally think that people from Assam are not very conversant for business sort of thing. But when we go back to our history, we find that throughout the history at various points of time, we have done lots of business, lots of startups. Though the startup name has come very recently, but if you go back to the history, the Sunwals used to do this gold business. That was a different type of business. Assam is not famous for gold mining, but there are people who only used to do gold business. There are some groups of people. Barbeta is famous for special Assamese ornament. These are the types of startups some people started at some point of time. Sarthebari is famous for all brass utensils. Swalpusi is again famous for its golden silk. Some people some point of time started some startup, and this then grown into full-fledged business. If we go back to again history, at some point of time people started when only 5 or 6% people were literate. At that point of time people started going for magazines. Ormunodoy started as a startup. That was the first Assamese magazine that started probably in 1826 at some point of time. So all those startups then grow into big businesses. Then came Junaki, Bahi, all those magazines came into in big way. So these are the people, those are the people from Assam that they started all startups with their own initiative. So I do not believe that people of Assam are not very conversant with business opportunities. So when Oil India and NRL is coming up with this startup idea, in Oil India started in 2016, we also thought that it will be very difficult for us to get people, but slowly we could understand that it's growing like anything. As Director Finance NRL has already said, their worth is around 400 crores. It's a big business. And all these startups are very innovative and connected to the roots of this place. Northeast has lots of opportunities in agriculture and similar type of business. In Oil India, when we started our program SNEH, we call it SNEH, S-N-E-H. SNEH means Startup Nurturing, Enabling and Handholding. And In Hindi and Assamese, SNEH is a word which means affection and love. So we take care of this initiative with lots of affection, lots of love for you all, so that we can grow together. That is the idea we have, and we want to grow. We want to grow together. Oil India started SNEH in 2016 after the clarion call from the Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, and now we have grown into a very matured in terms of startup business. We have initially started with only oil and gas related business, oil and gas related startups, but slowly we understood that in Northeast, specifically in Assam, it will be very difficult to people to start a business in oil and gas, because oil and gas is very technology intensive and at the same time very costly. So cost and technology both are difficult to get. So we opened it up for other technologies, other startups also. So that is the way we are going forward. And I think today's workshop will be very, very interactive and will be able to generate lots of new ideas. So when I came for this meeting today, my son and daughter told me, don't give any advice. So young people, they do not like to hear advice from the people like us. So I do not want to give any advice, but I think for startup, there are some mantras you will have to follow. The first and foremost mantra is that you will have to have a fixed goal. You need to know what you want to do, what you want to become. That is the first mantra of the founder, because he will have to run the business in the long term. And we are the supporter, we will be giving the support time to time as and when required, to the extent possible and to the level to bring you to the commercial level. So that is the first mantra. Second mantra is that there is no alternative for hard work. Startups will have to compete amongst themselves, compete with the big parties, so there will be no alternative. You will have to do all the hard work. And finally, you will have to put your own experience, own understanding into the business and to achieve the final goal. That is the way forward I can think for the startup groups. They can work like that. With these few words, I once again wish that today's conversations will be very, very encouraging for all of you, and we will have lots of opportunities to learn new.
Sri Sunil Kumar ji, Joint Secretary, Pankaj ji, Bhaskar have come up to the valuation of level near 100 crores. So they are doing a great job. And at the same time, I think I should also tell about my fund. We are also having a fund. We are having venture capital fund, but NRL is supporting from the ideation, idea, POC, even at angel level, they are supporting. So at the advanced level, we are supporting. And few of my experiences I will tell you, especially to the investors who have come here. When you come to the Northeast for investment, don't compare our startups with any startups coming up in Mumbai, Calcutta, Hyderabad or anywhere. These startups are, of course, there is a lot of innovation is being there, but there is also need-based companies. Because here, lot of things are in initial stages, lot of shortages are there. To make it self-sustainable, the startup ecosystem has to be improved at every level, at every maybe place in Northeast. Problem with us is population is less, area is very huge. Whether you take Arunachal Pradesh or any other state, it's very far off. And we have huge natural resources. So any startup, as our director sir was mentioning, food processing, any startup which is utilizing the local natural resources and bridging the gap, you should encourage. Of course, there are certain startups who have come up with technology innovation, and if you have seen that Quantum from USA has taken over one of our startups which have invested, who are working in the cloud computing area. A lot of startups are coming in medical area, tourism area, so many other areas. But the only thing is, I request you to see differently, number one. Number two, during our journey, we are surprised. Some of the startups, when I went to Manipur, one lady, she used to do some good job in Delhi. She resigned and came back and started her startup. And she did lot of work in that. The potteries and special type of these things, she's making it. When I volunteered to invest, she was hesitating. I was wondering, when somebody comes forward and offers for investment, why she is hesitating? Then, after half an hour conversation, I came to know that she doesn't want to lose even a 1% of her stake in that. So, then I realized that, like this, in Mizoram also, there is one lady, doctorate. She is making one drink. It is very popular in Mizoram. She came, I said, okay, we will give her this thing. She was hesitating. I went to Mizoram, then she was it. Then it stuck to me, because after Manipur I went to Mizoram. Then I asked her, are you hesitating that you will lose your share? She has confessed. Then I said, I will invest in such a manner that I will not take your share. So, this is one thing we should keep it in mind, that make them understand how best we can help them in investment. Second, we got the presentation from one lady again from the Meghalaya. She made a presentation, we committed money, we gave them a letter, she was not coming up. Then I was pushing my people, what is happening, this we have, she is doing, so 200, 300 women, she makes them to do airy silk products and then she sells it. It's good. She is giving employment now to 200 to 250 women. Then, what we realized is, it is a partnership firm. In our condition, we told them to make it as a company. She doesn't know how to make it as a company. She kept quiet. Then we realized, this area we need to see. So, we have contacted 2-3 chartered accountants. We told them that these startups we will give you. You help them in making their company and your professional fee, net fee will pay. Now that is working very well. Now 1 or 2 startups, they are taking the assistance of the chartered accountants. So these are all some of the examples of the system in the Northeast. So I request the investors who have come here, just keep all these things in mind, go to their level, understand their product, in what way it is helpful to the Northeast, and then how to encourage it. I am extremely happy to share with you, majority of the NRL's ideation beneficiaries are doing very well. Maybe more than 60% must be doing very well, who have taken a grant. And I am also happy to share you 53 startups we have invested and few more are in pipeline. Majority of them are doing but for pandemic. Those who were affected with pandemic, they are little bit now needs some more oxygen, but otherwise they are doing very well. The secret is many of the people from Northeast, they don't want to leave the Northeast. They love. So that is why, so you can be rest assured that they will make the initiative successful. And all the other participants who have come to pitch their products to get the investment, please be open, explain them, if necessary, explain the area where you are coming from and what is the need of your product. This is all unknown to the people who are coming from outside Northeast. So I wish both of you, people who are lending, who are taking all the very best, and Netfee in collaboration with NRL, we will certainly work together and see that this particular initiative a grand success. Sorry for taking longer time. Thank you very much. All the very best.
Thank you, sir, for sharing your thoughts. Well, yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is the age of creativity and innovations, and this summit will undoubtedly give the much-needed fillip to the startups with the path-breaking ideas. Well, now, may I humbly request our Chief Guest and Joint Secretary, Refineries and Exploration, Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas, Shri Sunil Kumar sir, to kindly inspire us with his words. Can we have a round of applause and welcome our Chief Guest on the days?
Good morning, everyone. And good morning to everyone who are connected through VC also. My friend and colleague Bhaskar ji, MD NRL, Pankaj ji, Director Operation Oil India Limited, Indrajit ji, Director Finance NRL, Nikun ji also who keeps very active NRL and is working on my dream project to the Northeast, Murthy ji, CMD Netfee, and all investors, startup entrepreneurs, completely everybody connected to the startup universe. Good morning and welcome to you. And before I start, I must tell you that I'm very happy to be here. And when I think 1.5 months back, Bhaskar ji called me and he asked me whether you would like to be in this summit or not. And I could not resist this invitation. And today I am here with you because startup is very dear to me. Also in the ministry, I look after the same portfolio of startup, encouraging startups through oil and gas public sector units. Long time back also I've done some study on startup and how economic structures affect the startup creations in a country, especially with the relevance to India. That was long time back, but now it is coming to fore and is gaining strength day by day. I understand that this is one of the such summit in Northeast region, and oil and gas also has been doing first such summit, and I am hopeful that after this summit, other oil and gas PSUs will also do. When I was doing the study, we could infer from our study that entrepreneurs are seen as a catalyst for harnessing opportunity, technology, capital, or economic structure. Even policymakers like us, we eye them for employment generation and wealth creation. So you people are very important, and the way the startups are going in the country is very, very encouraging. It is established that changes in technology, demography, society provide the fertile ground for new business opportunities. Societal, demographic, technology changes are genesis of entrepreneurial opportunities for innovators to exploit the demand of related products and services. These changes create uncertainty in the market, providing opportunities to be exploited for profits. We see a lot of uncertainty. The market is totally, after COVID, the market is totally reconfiguring. There is a reconfiguration of all supply chains across the world. And with the advent of technology like AL, ML, augmented reality, VR, this area is totally in disruption mode, and that provides opportunity for all young people like you are sitting here of your creative innovation. And there is an entrepreneurial landmine there that you have to just go and make your, explore the whole thing and disrupt the whole businesses. Established businesses like our mammoth oil and gas industries, they are slow to react in uncertainty and usually avoid very, very uncertain areas where markets are known and profits are not certain, and they are happy with in their own business processes, business conditions. This highly uncertain area is naturally fills up with new people and new startups. And India is seeing a significant growth in last 6 years of startup because there is a change everywhere. There's a change happening, and established players are not willing or not being capable also. They don't have expertise, either resources or expertise or willingness. That's where the startups are coming up. And since the launch of Startup Mission, India is one of the leaders in unicorn development. We have already produced almost more than 100 unicorns in this country, and we are the third largest in the world right now. India is also home to 61,000 recognized startups spread across 55 countries, industries, with 45% of them emerging from tier 2, tier 3 cities. So Northeast is one of the focus area also, and you must have seen that Honorable PM puts a special stress on all us policymakers that Northeast and East has to develop. So we have a very focused attention on Northeast and Eastern part of the country. It is also highlighted that specifically the startup ecosystem, 49 regulatory reforms have been undertaken by government to enhance the ease of doing business, ease of raising capital, and reduce compliance burden. The startup and MSME sectors have played an important role in shaping of Atmanirbhar Bharat. Atmanirbhar Bharat is looking forward to you people, in fact, and it's very encouraging to see unique local products for this region to reach global market, which Pankaj mentioned, the unique products, which is there for centuries, but it has started with some skill, innovation, design from the local people, and it is going to strengthen our Indian economy. Along with the Government of India mission, I must talk about our petroleum and natural gas initiatives. Our PSUs have pledged around 400 crores of fund for startups, and they have already disbursed around 223 crores to 232 startups. And these startups have generated employment of around 4,000 people. And you may be aware that one of the startups from Balmer and Lorry has already gone big, and there's one of the reaching the unicorn stage. And I hope that many more startups will grow up to that size. I'm very happy today that NRL is also launching an equity funding program, which was mentioned by Director of Finance in the beginning. This NRL Ideation Angel Fund to further extend its support beyond grant funding to growing startup from the Northeast. It's a good beginning, and with this thought process of MD NRL, DF NRL, other PSUs are also working on this subject, and we will also get in coming months similar kind of fund for startups in our area of oil and gas in the country. The startup, I was told that startup ecosystem of Assam and Northeast is gaining momentum with around 700 startups recognized with TPIIT, and that the worth is around more than 400 crores. Is very, very encouraging. And I'm sure there is one unicorn coming out from this region also very, very soon. And the kind of effort done by NRL and OIL and NetFee and other government agencies, this will be definitely, this will help in changing the landscape of this region. just from the technical point of view and theoretical concept, the link of technological changes, while we were talking in the beginning, and firm formation is widely studied. I also studied this. The changes in technologies, first formation of firms to exploit advancement in technology by providing new goods and services and other value-added services. It is argued by economists, especially Skuntal, whose famous logic is destruction of resources for marketing and entrepreneurship. So they argue by economists that creative destruction of resources by technological advancement is a major source of innovation in capitalist system. So the technological changes which are happening right now, even in our sector, is too many, and that provides immense opportunity to you all. And oil and gas especially is facing unprecedented pressure. You must be reading newspapers, news after Ukraine war and before Ukraine war also. Oil and gas is under tremendous pressure, whether to continue with fossil fuels or you want to go to new energies, and that tussle is going on. It's kind of, I say it's kind of a relay race. That relay race is ending for fossil fuel and beginning for the green energy. This technological advancement and transition in energy sector provides numerous opportunities for you all, and I take this opportunity to invite, or I can say throw a challenge to the startup community here and connected through VC to solve some of the challenges faced by oil and gas industry through innovation, design, or business processes redesign, so that the oil and gas can sustain the transitional pressures well and move into a new era of energy, which is going to come in a decade or two, definitely. Finally, the summit today is an excellent platform to discuss different solutions that can help the industry, oil and gas especially. And I would like to encourage young entrepreneurs once again to jump in innovative solutions that can disrupt business processes of our oil and gas sector, which is set, I think, almost 2 decades back, and they are wanting change now, and which is wanting change to go for a transition. One example I can say that robotics and VR and AR can be used for training purposes also, because safety is a very important part of our working. Because oil and gas is very prone to accidents, and training people has been a challenge for us, because taking it to the institute and giving them demo and giving simulation is very, very tough to create a fire, put them in that scenario and take them back to have a feel. Like you must have heard a recent accident in offshore helicopter also. Some people were trained, but they were not given that simulation to survive such mishaps. So there's an opportunity for VR, AR kind of design by you people, so that we can get them into that simulation mode, and they can be trained so that they can, if they have to face such situation, they are better trained than having a PowerPoint presentation or a discourse or lecture by some trainer, which doesn't help in our industry. So this is my urge to you all, and I'm happy to see a presence of members of investor community spanning from oil and gas, PSU, venture capitalists. I met yesterday some angel investors, HNI from India, they brought from this event, and I'm sure this confluence and exchange of ideas will help build a robust ecosystem for startups in this region also, and I hope this summit
encouraging the young entrepreneurs with your words. Ladies and gentlemen, NRL has set up an angel fund, as you all know, for the equity investment in startups with a corpus of rupees 35 crores. This fund is a Category 1 alternative investment fund under SEBI. the AIF Regulations 2012. Well, NRL is the primary sponsor of the fund with a contribution of rupees 30 crores. NETFI has committed a contribution of rupees 5 crores to this fund. Well, now may I humbly request our Chief Guest, Sri Sunil Kumar ji, to kindly do the honors and launch the NRL Ideation Angel Fund by pressing the button here. And I request Sri Nikunja Borthakur to kindly escort our Chief Guest. I'd also request the Managing Director NRL, Director of Operations OIL, the CMD NETFI, and our respected guest, the Director of Finance as well, to kindly join us. I request Pranto Protein Singh to kindly escort our dignitaries on the days for the launch of the NRL Ideation Angel Fund. Thank you, sir, for the launch, and I request our dignitaries to kindly stay back for the next sequence of events. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as we have witnessed the launch of the NRL Ideation Angel Fund, it is now time to call the first shortlisted startup, Dong Valley Private Limited, on the stage to receive the letter of soft commitment for equity funding. Dong Valley has been selected for due diligence and subsequent investment process. I request the MD NRL and the CMD NETFI to kindly hand over the letter to the team in the presence of our chief guest and our dignitaries on the days. Ladies and gentlemen, amidst a warm round of applause, here we have the Dong Valley Private Limited. Congratulations and best wishes, and I thank our dignitaries and I request them to kindly take their seat. Thank you everyone. I request our guests to kindly take their seats. Well, ladies and gentlemen, today we are glad to have with us our investors who will join us virtually. So now we'll have the investors pitch. First, let us all welcome Sri Amitav Chakraborty, who will join us from the Silicon Valley. Sri Amitav Chakraborty was a co-founder of VK Hero and was part of Y Combinator Winter 2013 cohort. He is a venture partner at Pioneer Fund and personally invested in more than 30 plus startups at various stages. He also worked as an advisor of YC Startup School and currently advises multiple startup founders. So here, we welcome Sri Amitav Chakraborty.
Thank you. Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay, great. Just making sure, talking for far away. Thank you for really giving me this opportunity to talk to the founders, particularly because one of the things obviously is that I have gone through this path and I have a close connection to Assam. I have completed my engineering from Jorhat Engineering College. So obviously I have born and brought up in Assam, so I have really a lot of personal connection there. But obviously coming out from India to US and really starting my own startup was a big learning. At the same time, understood that USA is a kind of land of opportunity, so I was just taking that opportunity. At the same time, going through the one inquisitiveness that how really founder thinks and how they try to solve that problem. And when I'll go back to this path, obviously I see that sitting from the other side of the table, I see that there's a lot of opportunity, I think, across the India and particularly in Assam, because I know that like tea's export from Assam is almost like 687 million, and I think around half of them comes from Assam, but still we are far away from really automate that process. Because I'm seeing them the parallel in here, like the companies like flagship, they have really changed the drastic way the export system. Because US, a lot of product come from China and other countries, including India, and they are able to handle a lot of challenges and obviously smooth line the process. And they also tried, connecting to small vendors in every space. So I can see that there is a parallel there. And one of the things I have noticed outside the US, particularly South America, and right now I'm seeing the Middle Asia too, that a lot of parallel kind of, it seems like a Me Too kind of company, but there is a reason to be because of the boundaries, geographical boundaries, compliance rules, and so on. Not like companies from here really can go and penetrate. So that I see that there is a lot of opportunity there. And I'm seeing that kind of bubble is coming up with a lot of companies in India. And now being part of the Pioneer Fund, so this fund actually came out from the Y Combinator too. So I don't know how much you know about the Y Combinator. Y Combinator is one of the most earliest incubation center, part of Silicon Valley. They have like funded 3,000 plus companies. Every year they found now almost 200 plus companies like Airbnb, Stripe, some of these companies actually from there. So this Pioneer Fund actually came out from the founders of the YC companies, and we kind of raised the fund and invest mostly to the YC companies. And I think last couple of years we have started seeing YC companies coming out from India. I've seen many companies coming from the corner of India's. Hope I'm going to see sometime that one of the company will come out from Assam. So there is one company obviously came out, though the founders are from the Assam, but they kind of started from Delhi, it's a Go Billion. So both the founders are Assam. They understood the problem in the small cities, and they figured out that there is an opportunity there. And that's how they came out with the idea, really get into YC and get funded. So I think that really opened up the door, but I think most important thing is that really to understand that how we can solve it. And now I'm seeing that in India, I think initially a lot of time we've seen that the funding is an issue, but now like, the funding opportunities like that NRL has came up, I see that there is a lot more opportunities out there. We just need a short of entrepreneurs. So I think I would say that I really want to encourage everyone here, right? It's just just keep doing, keep following your dream, and kind of making sure that you don't leave up, right? and really focus every day from the perspective of that, this is the problem you want to solve. And as you learn more, you try to kind of be better or try to see that how you can solve the problem in a more scale way. So if you can take that, and I think you are on the right path. And at this point, I don't see that, funding is a shortage there. There are many government agencies out there, many private agencies out there who are eagerly looking for the best company. So I think I just encourage every entrepreneur out there, just chase your dream. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Thank you, Mr. Vedat Chakraborty, for joining us in this summit. Well, now, ladies and gentlemen, let us welcome Mr. Ruben Foucault, who is the co-founder and CEO of ResearchFin.ai, an award-winning AI-based systematic trading platform for the next generation of stock market, forex, and crypto traders and investors. Well, he's also a serial entrepreneur with more than 2 decades of experience building technology products that solve real-world problems. Well, he co-founded Data RPM, Bixi, a vertical search engine platform, and Pixra, a social photo bookmarking platform acquired by IDBO. Well, he's a veteran data scientist with expertise in AI, machine learning, predictive analytics, and natural language processing, who has several patents in this field. He was part of the first data science team at Yahoo and worked directly with David Filo, the co-founder of Yahoo. Well, he has also authored books on systematic trading and artificial intelligence. So, can we have him here?
Hello everyone, can you hear me fine?
Yes, you're audible. So please welcome Mr. Ruben Foucault. Welcome you to the summit.
Thank you so much, and thanks NRL for giving me this opportunity to be a part of this event comprising of fellow entrepreneurs, investors, and dignitaries. So I'm really honored to be here. So today what I wanted to share is some perspectives on 5 deep tech kind of opportunities for Indian startups. So I want to mention this more in terms of an idea, right, for what are the future opportunities that not just Indian startups, but even startups in the Northeast region to look at, right? And why is that important, and why can Indian startups solve this, not just at regional level or national level, but mostly at a global level. So let me start with by saying that we are kind of at a very exciting phase in history, because there is a big tectonic shift kind of slowly happening from west to east when it comes to technology innovations, right? And there are a few reasons why this is happening now. As the pandemic had shown us that now there are problems which are much larger, right? There are global scale problems that are not just for the betterment of humanity, but also for which have become essential for the survival of humanity, right? And these problems can only be solved by countries who have the expertise in operating efficiently at massive scale, right? And India has been one of such companies. Secondly, many of these problems require a cost-effective solution, right? It's not about just throwing more money at the problem, it's about how can we design efficient solutions that can be applied at scale. Thirdly, a lot of these problems are time critical, which means that we are kind of racing against time. When you look at problems like climate change and others, right? So it requires fast solution. It may not be the complete solution, it may not be the final solution, but it means incremental solution really, really fast. And that is where the Jugaad mindset of India comes into play, right? And that's the Jugaad innovation is now a principle that is being studied even internationally, right? Even in a market like in US, they talk about the same. And finally, a lot of this problem requires significant amount of manpower, significant amount of people working on it to solve it, right? So, which is why I believe that India is like uniquely positioned, right, to deliver this solutions at a global level in the future, right? And it's already been demonstrated. So if we look at India's successful Mars mission, which was done almost at like 1/10 of the cost of the NASA Mars program, or if we look at the COVID vaccine delivery, so India has delivered more than 4 times the vaccines that has been delivered by any other country in the world, right? And US comes second, and India has delivered almost 4 times more than that. India's GDP growth for the next couple of years is highest, right? The growth projected even globally. And when we look at cutting edge technologies like AI, right? So India has been one of the leading countries, leading economy. Which is one of the very few vaccines that has been approved by WHO. So the pharmaceutical research is one big area when it comes to like low cost medicines, right? The second area in this is telemedicine, which is again another big area to cater to the global shortage in doctors or healthcare professionals available, right? And which is why also areas like medical tourism is emerging, right? And the Heal in India initiative is again one great initiative here to participate. And the healthcare sector has received almost like 28 billion foreign direct investments between like 2000 and 2021, right? So I mean, this is definitely a huge area of focus. The second is agriculture technology, right? So food shortage is the future of a big crisis area. The advantage that India has is that, I mean, it's more than half of India like is in the agricultural practice, right? And India is already, I think, in the top 4 food producing countries in the world, right? And already there are initiatives that are happening with like, Israel, UAE, and US coming together to do agricultural parks across India, and there's already 2 billion committed into this project, right? So innovations around this in terms of how can you efficiently grow, how can you create more organic farming, right? How can you monitor with remote sensing and things like that? So a lot of those kind of innovations at a global scale can come from India. The third area is water technology, and it's no doubt that it's the most valuable natural resource of the future, right? And I think India is among the top 10 countries when it comes to fresh water reserve and number 1 in consumption, right? So currently Israel is one of the companies which is leading in water technology, right? From doing things like atmospheric water generation, which is basically generating water out of air, right? But India being in this space, right, has a unique advantage to cater to the global water requirement, right? So I think the water project or the water market is projected to be a $14 billion market, right? And spending on water supply is expected to be like $9.4 billion globally. So this is a unique advantage, and also from a geographical perspective, India has a unique advantage for leveraging things like atmospheric water generation because of being in a tropical region. It's naturally inclined to have more humidity, and as such, is a good test bed for technologies such as this. The fourth is, of course, the climate technology, right? So, in general, the whole climate technology, although it is a significant area, but it's also a multi-trillion-dollar opportunities for investors, right? And right from clean energy to like fighting pollution, right? And India is already ranked among the top 10 countries of climate tech investments that are happening, and already like 1 billion of VC funding has happened in the space in India. Okay? And then the final is the space technology. So space is the next global frontier of technology innovations that are happening. And with the space tech being open to private investors, so it basically gives a unique opportunity for India, and it's already happening there for companies like Agnikul who are working on creating low orbit launch vehicles, right? And things like that. So I think in the private space tech world, India is already in the top 5 with more than 365 companies working in that. Although the foreign investment in the Indian space tech is small at this point, but I think with the government enabling FDI will definitely boost the investment there. And there is a lot of interest in the global private companies in leveraging satellite technologies for various things, right? For monitoring and other areas. So I think these are some of the unique deep technology solutions that India has an edge. Now, what say someone like NRL and the government initiatives that are happening is huge, because all of these technologies are big impact technologies. They are long-term investments, right? And they are, of course, high value and really deep game-changing investment, which means that it requires also the partnerships between government, the public, and private sectors coming together to solve this problem, right? And this is where funds like NRL and NET can make a big difference, not just from a capital investment perspective, but helping bridge that gap between the startups, the government agencies, and providing the right mentorship that is required for all these startups to really solve these bigger problems, right? And that is what makes this exciting. That is what makes this event exciting for me, and I'm really proud and thankful to be part of this initiative. So thank you so much.
We once again thank Mr. Umar Furkan and Amitabh Chakraborty for joining us today. Well, now let me introduce you all to the investors who are participating today for the Startup Investor Summit 2022. Can we have the presentation, please? Well, the oil and gas companies, Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas, Government of India, Barmer Lorry, Bharat Petroleum, GAIL India Limited, Hindustan Petroleum, Indian Oil, ONGC MRPL, NRL, Oil India Limited, the VC and corporations, 100x.VC, Ankur Capital, Unicorn India Ventures, Lead Angels, NVCL, Mitsubishi, Nectar, and Netfee. The angel investors, we have already met Mr. Umar Furkan virtually. We have Shamanta Gautam. We have Amitabh Chakraborty, we have already met him. Samir Bora, Rahul Sakhya, Barkat Ali, Ranju K. Mohan, Sanjay Sharma, and Deepak Nagpal. The incubators, ladies and gentlemen, IIM Calcutta, eCell IIT Bombay, Entrepreneurship Cell IIT Kharagpur, ARC SMUTBI, Sikkim Manipal University, Guwahati Biotech Park, NIT eHub, Technology Incubation Center, IIT Guwahati, and the state government startup missions are Prime Meghalaya, Arunachal Pradesh Innovation and Investment Park, Assam Startup, YouthNet from Nagaland. Well, can we have the EVs of the investors on screen, please? We have the next EV, please.
पूरब से हमने जन्म लिया और दिया जग को जियारा।
SNEH, Startup Nurturing, Enabling and Handholding, the flagship startup program of OIL, started its maiden voyage in September 2016 as OIL bolstered the Startup India and Make in India movement of the country.
OIL India Limited joined hands with premier technical and educational institutes like IIT Guwahati, Guwahati Biotech Park, and Guwahati University to mentor and guide the startups. OIL India Limited has signed tripartite agreements with incubation centers and startups to propel the most vibrant and fastest growing startup ecosystem.
Startup Kalichi is providing solutions to downhole problems in oil and gas industries. Alvin Engineering Private Limited is working in energy conservation products. Data Tank Robotics is working in the field of remote robotic cleaning of crude and retail's tank bottom.
These robots will have the capability to transmit real-time visuals of the tank bottom and at the same time perform cleaning operations inside crude oil and retail tanks.
startup-owned clean tech has built and successfully demonstrated trail run of a hydrogen fuel-powered bus, and this bus is proposed to become the first hydrogen bus to be run in the Startup Ideation Petrochemicals is working on app-based fuel delivery services and has already started earning revenue from its operations.
Oil-sponsored startups have showcased themselves in many national and international forums, and their grandeur has been appreciated by all. The startups have applied for many patents, and its papers have been submitted in international conclaves.
Oil-sponsored startups have brought in many laurels in their pursuit for excellence.
Encourages all new startups from various fields to apply to the Oil Startup Scheme at OIL's website www.oilindia.in. The company shall facilitate the community of innovators and entrepreneurs in pursuit of promising technology, business process, re-engineering ideas towards validated path by funding of incubation ecosystem and intellectual mentoring.
जिंदगी के हर पल की ऊर्जा हम हैं ऑल इंडिया.
Thank you, All India Limited, for empowering us always.
All India Limited, ladies and gentlemen, can we have the last AV, please?
Startup India, launched by Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi in 2016 to build a strong ecosystem that is conducive for the growth of startup businesses to drive sustainable economic growth and generate large-scale employment opportunities. In 2016, BPCL launched Project Ankur to support startups through grants, collaborations and mentoring support. Being an innovator or a disruptor is the best way to stay ahead and become an industry leader. And Bharat Petroleum recognizes that. In phase 1 of Project Ankur, 25 startups received funding grant which helped them to scale up their ideas to bring a paradigm shift in diverse industries. Some of these startups have made a breakthrough impact in their respective domains. An IIT Madras incubated startup, Detect Technologies, specializes in driving digital transformation for asset integrity solutions for process industries. Maximal Labs' flagship product, SyncOps, provides new age collaboration platform to communicate in real time, improve workforce productivity, and rapidly digitize every on-field workflow. iRove Technologies has developed iRove Tuna, India's first smart and efficient underwater commercial inspection class drone for surveys of submerged structures. With a mission to eliminate inhuman practice of manual manhole scavenging, Jet Robotic Innovations is making waves with their revolutionary robot, Bandicoot. These and 21 more startups supported by BPCL Ankur so far are leveraging cutting-edge technology, agility, creativity and innovation to disrupt a wide range of sectors in many ways.
Hi, Petroleum, ladies and gentlemen, and now amidst the round of applause, may I invite all our investors. We have one more AV, ladies and gentlemen, and after that we will invite all our investors onto the dais for a photo session. Assam startup, ladies and gentlemen, and our last on the mission, Numaligarh.
Founded by two Scotsmen, Stephen George Barmer and Alexander Lowry in Kolkata, Barmer Lowry and Company Limited started its Founded by two Scotsmen, Stephen George Barmer and Alexander Lowry in Kolkata, Barmer Lowry and Company Limited started its corporate journey as a partnership firm on 1st February 1867. Today, Barmer Lowry is a Mini Ratna 1 public sector enterprise under the Ministry of Petroleum and Natural Gas, Government of India, with a strong presence in manufacturing and services sectors. There was hardly any business that Barmer Lowry did not delve into in its formative years. From tea to shipping, insurance to banking, and trading to manufacturing, the company left a mark of its own at every step of its remarkable corporate journey. Paul Gonsalves, a Barmelorian, known as the father of greases in India, led an engineering breakthrough just before independence, making Barmelori the pioneer of grease manufacturing in India. At the same time, Barmelori folded into barrel manufacturing and became a leader in this industry. Barmelori is the first PSU to set up a barrel manufacturing joint venture abroad in the Middle East. Today, we are market leaders in grease and specialty lubricants catering to the industrial and automotive segments. We are also the largest manufacturer of steel barrels in India. We use indigenous technology to manufacture leather, textile, and agrochemicals. Barmelori Travel and Applications is a market leader in corporate travel, providing end-to-end travel solutions including MICE, domestic and international holidays, FTC, visa, insurance, hotels, etc. Barmelori is one of the authorized travel agents for government. We are a logistics services provider in the organized sector backed by state-of-the-art pan-India infrastructure and a network of global associates. Barmelori Logicode Cold Chain Solutions successfully handled two COVID-19 vaccines, Covaxin and Sputnik, in India. Barmelori is perfectly aligned and equipped to support Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi's vision of Atmanirbhar Bharat. Startup India, a flagship initiative of the Government of India, was launched by the Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi in 2016. Barmelori Startup Fund was launched in 2017, focused on nurturing innovation in chosen business areas. The scheme aims at fostering innovation, which can be a game changer in the industry. Barmelori created a startup fund of ₹5 crores for funding selected startups on equity basis. It tied up with IM Capital Innovation Park for identifying and selecting prospective startups, mentoring, incubation, investor connect, and knowledge resources. Focus areas for fostering the growth of startups have been logistics, travel and hospitality, lubricants, chemicals, industrial packaging, oil and refinery, renewable energy, waste to wealth, and surveillance. With a team backed by subject matter experts, top management, IM incubators, angel investors, and mentors, Barmelori ensures to pave the success journey for budding entrepreneurs. Since 2017, Barmelori has conducted 3 rounds of startup hunts and has selected 5 startups for funding involving an investment of 4.60 crores. Barmelori selected 2 startups for equity funding. One of them, Fool, has pioneered the technology of flower cycling to transform temple flowers into organic alternatives by engaging marginalized women who handicraft it. Fool is India's first biomaterial startup. With excellent traction in the recent years, Fool has strong presence on most of the online e-commerce portals. Barmelori has invested ₹60 lakhs in Fool. We have also invested in an Assam-based startup, Drones Tech Lab, a solution designer and system integrator in the field of aerial surveillance industry of drones, providing surveillance solutions in the remotest and difficult areas. Drones Tech Lab has successfully bagged contracts from defense and Assam Rifles. The profit-making startup has witnessed phenomenal growth and has doubled its top line year on year since its association with Barmelori. We have invested ₹1.50 crores in Drones Tech Lab. In the second round, Barmelori selected Wisely, a futuristic travel app to streamline air travel. Started by 3 fresh pass outs from IIT Guwahati in 2021, Flagship was quick identifying the talent needs of the clients and created a one-stop app providing services like shopping outfits, bars, food delivery, lounge access, check-in services, cab, etc. in the airport under one roof. Flagship was swift in generating steep revenue traction of over Rs 1.5 crores within the first half of this financial year. It tied up with domestic airports for providing e-commerce facilities. Babalori has invested Rs 50 lakhs in Flagship. In Startup Round 3 conducted this year, Babalori has selected 2 startups. The first, Origin Connect, provides an integrated supply chain platform which enables exporters and importers to trade profitably while minimizing the risk. With a founder team of experienced and seasoned logistics professionals, the startup offers an array of add-on services of financing, order fulfillment, and delivery tracking, having the first mover advantage in the logistics domain. The second startup, Tight the Nut, is a garage tech solution to improve B2B supply chain at garages to data-driven intelligent analytics and economies of scale. With an experienced team, the startup had tied up with various garages associations for providing a cost-effective solution in an unorganized model. Babalori had decided to invest Rs 1 crore each in both the startups. Our selected startups have won several awards and accolades like the prestigious Queen's Young Leader Award, Young Champions Honor, Mentors for Change recognitions, IIT Multi-Campus Award, and featured as top startups in various leading startup forums. The startups have received national and international exposure in Dubai Expo 2021, the Seed Spot program with Stanford Seed, TIE programs and Unicorn Battles in Asia. From the annual Startup Summit, we expect to connect with potential investors and customers for funded startups and partner with startups for future hubs. Together, we shall continue the effort to nurture and foster the growth of startups in India.
Ladies and gentlemen, that was Babalori. Well, now may I invite all our investors to kindly come up on the dais. I request Sri Prantor Singh to kindly escort them and kindly come up on the stage for a photo session. May I request all our investors to kindly come up on the dais for a photo session, please. We have all our investors here, so may I kindly request you all to come up on the dais for a photo session. Ladies and gentlemen, immediately after the photo session, we will have a short tea break of about 10 minutes. And during that time, I request the startups to kindly be ready in the stalls.
Recording stopped.
I request all the startups to kindly proceed to the stalls. Our chief guest, Joint Secretary Sir, who will be inaugurating the stalls now. We will now have a short tea break of about 10 minutes, and immediately after that we will have the startup elevator pitch, session 1. Thank you everyone for joining us in the morning session. Thank you.
Kita kata dulu aja.